This will be a short one right here. You can see there's no motor, no seats and stuff like that on it. Right now I'm just started on this one. I had this one going a while back and I tore it apart because I had big plans for it. And like usual, my plans changed. This one, I'm going to put the original intake motor back on it and get it back going. There's some neat things on this go-kart. I thought I'd show you some neat stuff on it. For the yard use, you see these front tires? Perfect for it. Knobby, grip good. See the back tires? Really crappy out in the grass. That's the reason why there's grooves in it, to try to get a sideways bite. These tires like to spin out. They're a yard, well, they're made for lawnmowers. But that's why I got a groover and I grooved them to help get some sideways bite on it. The pedals, I've added angle iron on it to get to where your feet have more room on there. You can see the front end. I built a bumper system and a support for your feet right there, because it was tough to get your feet behind this with this rubbing on it. That's the reason why I built all that. Get a good look at it there. You can see I got nice springs to hold it in place and stuff. This is an old dingo style frame. It comes down and rises up because it had to rise up right here because of the bigger tires. Now I know you're looking at that sprocket and you're thinking that's goofy as all get out. No, it's not. Because these tires are so big, a rule of thumb is that you got to have a sprocket almost as big as the tire that you're going to run. Also, with a go-kart, especially them kind of motors, you want a 6-to-1 ratio. Six turns of the motor to 1 turn of the wheel is what I'm talking about. The reason is that if you go below a 6-to-1 ratio, you will burn up clutches left and right. And I know there's folks out there burning up clutches all the time and they're wondering, why is this happening? Well, you got too much weight and the motor can't pull that. Everything has to work together. This sprocket with the Comet clutch I was running gave me about a 7.25-to-1 ratio. And this thing with the intake motor, 6-horse motor, Briggs & Stratton, would running around here in the yard would outrun my King Quad 700, or I couldn't keep up with the kids on it. So that's once it hits its power band. This thing still has a tough time taking off. It is rather short. Once I get the seat in here, I've got the seat over here and over there being painted. I'm letting them dry right now. I cut my motor mounts off in thinking that I was going to have put another motor on here, and now plans change. This one's not going to be staying around long. You can see the older style of rub brake. This one I've had a lot of problems with, is that the clamp or the disc or the brake itself would slide off. So I'm going to do the same thing I did on another go-kart, put angle iron pieces on either side and keep it in place to where it can still move around, but it'll still in place. And you can see it's got a bar down there which will pull the brake shoe tight to apply the brakes. This thing has had a bad habit of burning up brakes. But you can see I got this at an industrial supply. It's held in place with these grub screws. I tried to lighten it somewhat. I had a machine shop do that, but still, this is a section that needs lightened. The problem I've had with this is that it does move around. It moves around on here. No matter what I do, it moves around on it, and that's been a problem. The motor, when I get it welded, I'm going to probably set it further back, because before the motor was set up and it would hit the back of the seat and there was no room in that area. So I'm going to probably put the motor towards the back. There's enough weight at the front that it's not going to make a difference on that. Steering system is all braced well. At one time there was a crash. You can see there was some welding done to fix this. These are kind of spin weak if you really look at them. If you look, that one, there's only just a single piece of metal. If you go over here, this is the one that was fixed, and you see there's a piece braced underneath it. A local welding shop could do that, and that would really help if anybody has one of these and needs to do some stuff to fix it. This one, because of the big wheels, tends to burn up wheel bearings. And I would also advise on this, putting lots of slime in these wheels. The company that makes slime, there's a couple different varieties. They always say, you know, put as little as possible. I'm the opposite. Well, for a go-kart, you can get away with putting as much as possible in there because you're not going to go so fast that it's going to cause the wheel to get out of balance. That's the only thing that they're looking at, is causing the wheels to get out of balance. So with that, I'll have to figure out how to make... I'll use some angle iron pieces and slot them so I can make the motor back and forth, but I'll have to figure out some sort of way attaching them to these little areas right here. But this is a live axle design. It pulls good. It's a booger because of the short wheelbase. As far as turning, because it really wants to push the front end. This has got a totally different way to drive than the other go-karts. This one you have to gracefully go through the corners. You cannot just dive into a corner and turn. I had a kid do that once and crashed it. But this is neat. If these are around, you know, you can teach kids the difference in handling characteristics. With the live axle, this one will push a lot, whereas the single axle like this one will just turn on a dime. But this one, I'm not gonna. The other motor I had was an Intech, and I had a real expensive Comet clutch that had adjustable stall and had a needle bearing system in it. I'm not going back with the Comet clutch. I'll put one of the cheaper ones because I plan on getting rid of this one. And with that, I'll do another video once I finish this thing up, kind of get a review of it. But that'll be it for now on this one.